Hello. Okay. Uh, so welcome friends. Let's talk about Salesforce today. Today what we are going to do, let me just put my heading first. Okay. Okay. So let's see what we are going to talk about today. I just put up agenda here. Today what we are going to do is, firstly, we will see what is Salesforce object. What is the meaning of Salesforce object? That we will talk about. Then we will see what is the difference between standard and custom object. So if you see different entities in Salesforce, so they are divided into standard and custom categories. So we will talk about that. We will see what do you mean by attributes. And again, standard and custom attributes. Attributes will have data types, so we will talk about data types. And after that, we will get into this lab where we will create an employee custom object. And then I will give you one assignment where you need to create another object. Okay, so ready? Fine. So let us talk about Salesforce object first. What do you mean by Salesforce object? So you might learn some object oriented programming language like C++, Java. So there we do have class. Okay, so for example, we do have employee class, we do have student class, and so on. Okay, so what that class will contain? It contains different attributes. For example, employee will have different attributes like ID, name, salary. So these are different attributes of employee. So which are the attributes of student? Roll number, name, marks. These can be attributes of students. Absolutely. Okay. So the concept of object in Salesforce is very similar to class. So object is nothing but it holds data. Okay, so it is equivalent to class in any object oriented programming language. So employee, student, this will be example of objects, right? So whenever you say data, where data is stored in Salesforce, it is stored in database. Okay, so how data in database is organized? In form of tables. What tables contains? It contains fields, right? So whatever these tables are there, they are very equivalent to object. They are very equivalent to object. So whenever you say I do have employee object, I mean there is a corresponding table in the database, employee table, and the whole data is going to that employee table. So object means database table. Now what exactly objects contain? So that is the meaning of object basically. Now what is this standard and custom object in Salesforce? Whatever we said, employee, student, are they standard object or they are custom object? So let me tell you that whatever this employee and student we talked about, they are nothing but custom object. So what is the difference between standard and custom object? Object which is provided by Salesforce by default, they are called as standard object. And object which are created by you like employee, student, these are called as custom object. So which are the different standard objects available to us? Let us do one thing. Let me just log into my Salesforce account. So I'm just opening the browser, going to the URL, and I'm putting my login credentials. So just wait for a while. I will share my screen soon. Yes, it got open and I'm logging in. So it got logged in. So it is logging in. I hope you can see my screen now. Okay, so I'm inside and I'm getting into my account. So which are the standard objects available to me? I'm going to see that. Okay, here it is. So you can see whenever you log into your account, you can see different tabs over here. Okay, so you can see campaigns, you can see leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities. So these are nothing but different objects available to you. So let me tell you which are the standard objects available to you. Campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, contracts, orders, cases, solutions, products. So these are nothing but different objects available to us. So Salesforce offers this object to us. They're called as standard object. Okay. We can create our object also. So we will get into that soon. Let me clear my board. Okay. So are you clear with what do you mean by Salesforce object? What is the difference between standard and custom object? Now, what is attribute? So if you look at any object, standard or custom, it contains different attributes. So I told you that if we talk about employee object, then it will contain different attributes inside that, like employee number, employee name, salary, etc. So these are nothing but different attributes of employee object. Okay, so these are nothing but attributes. Now again, whenever you say attributes, so whenever you create custom object, so does it mean that custom object will contain all custom attributes? Now again, what is the meaning of standard attributes and custom attributes? Now what is the meaning of standard and custom in case of attributes? So some attributes will be provided by you by Salesforce by default. So even if employee is your object, is custom object, whenever you create this custom object, Salesforce will add some standard fields in that. So they are nothing but standards attributes. So attributes in Salesforce, they are formally called as fields. So let us call them fields. So standard fields and custom fields, and whatever fields you add, that will be custom fields. Now a $1,000,000 question. If I ask you employee number, EMP name, salary, these are standard fields or custom fields? Naturally, they are custom fields. Okay. Now let us do one thing. After understanding this, let us get into creation of object. So there you will understand different data types also. So every attribute, every field will have data type. For example, if you say employee number, it is number. If you say name, it is text. And whenever you want to have a combo box, it is called as pick list. So these are different data types available. So let us get into a lab where we need to create an employee custom object, okay, with different attributes. So these are the different attribute: employee number, employee name, and salary. Let us create custom object employee. So to create the custom object, I will go to setup menu, click on setup. After getting into setup, you can see different menu on the left hand side panel: administer, build. Okay, so let us get into build, and there you will see create menu. So open that create menu. So once that create menu is expanded, you can see it got expanded now. Yep. So it has different submenus. So let me get into objects. So whenever you want to create any custom object, you will get to setup, then build section, then create, and then objects. Now you can see this page. So new custom object. So you need to click on new custom object. So I'm clicking on that. So it will show you all created custom object if any custom object is there. So right now I don't have any custom object, so it doesn't show me any object over there. Label. So what is the display label? You can have blank space in that, not a problem. So I want employee as my name of object. What is the plural for that? So at many places Salesforce displays that plural thing. So that is employees. Ignore this starts with vowel sound as of now. Object name. So here it should have underscore if multiple words are there in the object name. Description. So maybe this is employee data. I'm just putting it description. Context sensitive help. I'm okay with this. Then enter the record name label. So I'm okay with record name employee name. Okay. So this is nothing but a unique field will be created because of this, which will identify each record, which will uniquely identify each record. So that is a reference name. So let me just call it as maybe that's fine. So let us accept his employee name, standard one. Report features. So do I want to allow reports and all? So I want all of that applicable on my new object. So let me select all. Deployment status, if it is in still development, so you don't want to be published to the other people, so then you can say in development, but right now we are okay with that. Deployed. Allow search, whether this is a searchable object. So I said if somebody typed employee in the search, it should be searchable or not. So I say okay. Add notes attachment, that's fine. Launch new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. I don't want to launch it, so I uncheck that. So we will see that in subsequent lectures, that what do you mean by custom tab and what is the significance of checking this box. Right now ignore that and keep it unchecked. I just say save. So if you want to create one more object, then you can say save and new. Right now I am okay with only one object, so I just say save. Okay, so it got created. Now once it is created, you can see this page is called as object definition page. It contains different sections: standard field section, custom fields and relationship section, and so on. So subsequently we will understand all these sections soon. Right now, as I told you, whenever you go to create object, it will show you all list of custom objects. So let me show you that. If you go to setup, create, and this objects, it should show employee object over there. Let us see that. Okay, so employee object is there. Okay, so if I click on this object name, it will get into object page. Okay, now just observe one thing on the object definition page. You have one, two, three, four standard fields got added. So these are called as standard fields which are added by Salesforce to the custom object. Now whatever field we want to add, employee ID, employee name, salary, they are custom fields. So let us add them. So I will go to this custom field and relationship, this section, and I say new. So let us add custom fields now. Firstly, you need to choose the data type. So in Salesforce, it is a special thing actually, that before giving a name to the field, you are supposed to select the data type of the field. So I want employee ID, which is to be number. So let me take it number and I say next. ID, employee ID. So it can have blank space, no problem. This is the field name, employee ID. You can change it to EMP ID I want. It should not have any space. So employee ID, that is description, help desk. So whenever you mouse over on that particular field, this text will come. So I will say enter employee ID. Required. So if you want to say this field should not be left blank whenever somebody insert the record, so I say it is required. It is unique, so two employees cannot have same employee ID, so I'm good. And whenever you want to deal with the external system, you have to set it. Okay, so formula editor I don't want to use, I'm okay with this. So employee ID field got created. Before that, it will ask you that it made it visible for all the profiles. So as of now we are good with that. It is visible to all the profiles. We will see that what do you mean by profile soon. Okay, then I'm okay with all the page layouts. This is also good for me. So I will say save and new because I want to create some more fields. So this field will be saved and it will give me the next field screen. So next field is EMP name. So I just take it as text, click next. Okay. Then the field label, give it as, I call it as name of employee. Length is 40 characters and I call it as EMP name. So I give some description, help desk, require. So I just say it's fine even if you leave blank. Two employee can have same name, so I don't check this unique thing. I'm good. So I click on next. So I'm okay with this. So I just say next. Okay. So let me just make it visible for all. Okay. So by default, I just took it, make it visible for all. I'm okay with that. So even whenever you created employee ID, you can make it visible for all. Just I'm okay with the default. Say save. I want one more field, so I say save and new. Okay, so last one, salary. For any amount, instead of taking number, you take currency. So I took currency, which is as good as number, but it is a floating point number. Next, the salary, employee salary, help text, enter employee salary. Required, always required, I make it as, say next. Okay. Uh, by default, it is visible for all. So let us take it. For name, we have got this visible for all to be selected here, because if you observe, we took employee name as optional field. So there you will get the option that whether you want to make it visible for all or not. Now we make it mandatory. Salary, we made it mandatory. So naturally it is by default visible for all profile. It has to be visible for all profile. So I just say next. Okay, I'm good with the default and say save. So our structure is created for employee object. Okay. Now I want to insert data into this employee structure got created. You can see these fields are added. I want to add data to that. Okay, I want to add data to that. So how to add data? Now to add the data, it has to be visible over here. Okay, visible in the tab. So tab should be there. And if you see, this is called as a apps menu. So if I select some other app, so let's say marketing app. So it was sales app by default. I made it marketing app. You can see these tabs are calibrated. So these tabs are different for different apps. So what you need to have, these all are standard apps. So apps contains different tabs basically, and every tab is associated with the object. Okay, so what we need to do for our object, firstly we need to have a tab in place, and then that tab has to be added in some app. Okay, so what I will do, I will create my own app and I will add tab in that. First thing I will do, I will create a tab for my employee object. So let me go to let me create the tab first. So I go to setup, I go to again the same place, create, but instead of object now I will go to tabs. Okay, so let us create a custom object tab, new. So object tabs are nothing but tabs used to make the data entry in the object. So let me create the custom object tab. Okay, so for which object you want to create the tab? So I say employee object, tab style. So I'm good with that. So which are the different tab styles? So this is like a theme you can select. So let me select, let's say helicopter. Yeah, hands. That's okay. Okay, let it be whatever we selected. Then nothing has to be added. Short description. That's fine. So let's say next. Tab. Okay. Now tab visibility, all profiles. So I said okay. So I'm fine with the default. Click on next. So as of now, we are not clear with the profile, so we will not get into the details of that. In subsequent session, we will talk about that. Okay. Include tab for all these apps. So whether you want this app to be included for this app, no, I don't want that app to be included for the standard apps. Okay, my tab should not be as a part of this. I will create my own app. So these are, you can see sales app also over here, right? So I don't want this tab to be displayed. So I just say save. I just created a tab, but I have not displayed it in standard applications like sales, marketing, etc. So I will create my own app. So I will call that app as company app, my company app rather. Okay. So tab got created. You can see employee tab got created. Now let me create the app. So again, go to setup and you can see create and I go to apps. So it is coming to that apps creation page. So let us create the app, new app. Select it, app label. So which will be displayed in that apps menu. So I will call it as my company. Click on next. Okay, so if you want, you can show the image also. So right now I am okay with this image. So in subsequent session, I will tell you that how to have your own logo for your app. So you can display your own logo over here. So how to do that, I will show you in subsequent sessions, not today's session. Click on next. Okay, so available tabs, which tab you want this one? So home tab is by default will be there. I want employee tab, employees tab. Okay, so just add it and by default home tab will be the default tab. I'm good with that. Click on next. Okay, so this new app is visible to which all users. These are nothing but different profiles, so I want to make it visible for all. So I selected visible and clicked on save. Okay, then this got created. Your my company app got created. Let's see that. Okay, now where that my company app is visible, so it will be visible in my apps menu. This is nothing but apps menu. So these were standard apps displayed, so now this custom app is there. So I click on that, I go to my custom app now, my company. Okay, so can you see home tab and employees tab over there, which I selected? Now I go to employees tab, and we know that employee object is already associated with the employees tab. Okay, so you can see this is my tab employee. So using employees tab, I can insert records in my object. So I just click on new and I can insert record. So I can do this now, inserting 5 employee records. So let me do that. Employee name, you can reorder these fields also. We are okay with these fields now. Employee name, so let's say Amit is the employee, Amit R. Then employee ID, so it is number 1001. Name of the employee. Okay, now employee name and name of the employee. So employee name is a system field which got added to you. So let us give some unique ID to the employee, okay, which is a text. And name of the employee is your field actually. So let us make it as Amit R. Salary, let me make it as 10,000, and I say save and new because I want to insert one more record. I give some ID. This is a reference. So what is the use of this employee name system reference? That we can very well discuss what to do that. But right now we will not get into that. Let us give it as a reference field. Then 1002 is the ID. Name of the employee is, let us say, Piyush C. Salary 24,000. I say save and new. Third employee. So A, employee ID, name of the employee, let us say Sheetal C, salary 30,000, save and new. So this is third record, 2 more records to go. Then the next one, fourth record, put the employee ID, name of the employee, salary 23,000, save and new, one more record. ID, employee ID is 1004, 5. So this is already entered, so it should be 5. Then okay, and I say save because this is the final record, so I will not click on save and new. So you can see all records will be displayed in consolidated manner. Okay, so this is fifth record. So if I click on employees tab again, so it should show me all records in a consolidated manner. Okay, you can see these all records are visible, but only there one field is there, which is system field that got displayed. We don't have other fields got displayed. Okay, so how we can do that? So let me just try to click on go button to show all the records. So it will show you all the records whenever you click on go button, but still I can see only one field is displayed. Other fields are not displayed. So this is the view where you can see only one field. You can change that view. Okay, how to change the view? Let me just click on edit and you can change the view to add whatever fields you want that you can add. Right now let us keep this employee name reference field as it is. So let us add employee ID, this one, name of the employee and salary of the employee. And this employee name, which is a system field, let us add that also. Let us take it as a first field. So I click on top and that is the first field, which is the record reference. Okay, don't confuse this record reference with this name of employee. Okay, fine. So that's fine. So I say save. So this view got saved and that will be activated. Now you can see all the fields will be displayed. Okay, so we entered 5 records and that all fields got displayed over there. Employee ID, name of the employee and salary. Okay, perfect. So I hope you understood that. If any query, then feel free to mail me, feel free to give a call to me. Thank you.